right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. And today, guys, I'm joined by yours truly, Matt, the Matt's channel, man. Thank you for joining, Matt's. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Hello
All right,
to
enough.
AD and everyone in the chat.
Yeah, so we got our playoffs winners, and we're gonna go ahead and do this, man. So we have 4 confederations to discuss, guys. We got UEFA, we got CAF, AFC, and the CONCACAF. Now for CAF, we're gonna keep things very short. I'll just tell you guys which nations qualified, and yeah, for CONCACAF, you have that as well. So yeah, like I said, Matt, thank you for joining, man. It's been a long time since you've been on the channel by yourself, and I think it's been a while since we did me and you. I think, right, Matt?
Didn't even take that into account, but now that you mention it,
yeah. And so yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and do this, man. So please remember to like and subscribe, man. Get those likes up, and get subscribed if you're new, man. And we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. And once again, man, sorry for the delay, man. Thanks to Wales and Poland for going to a penalty shot. And oh my god, I'm disappointed Poland made it. But we'll discuss that when the time comes. Wait, let me read some guys' comments. Sebastian says proud over Chile this month. Okay. Yusser says Payne says hi. And yeah, man. So let's start with AFC first, Matt. Shall we? We're gonna go alphabetical order. Is that good with you?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna just kind of discuss about the groups, how we feel, rather than discuss about the individual games, because there's too many games, right, Matt?
Yeah.
So yeah, let me go ahead and get my banner. Sorry, let me re-edit that. All right. So AFC, man, AFC. Okay. So let's start with Group A, Matt. Qatar, they're obviously top of the group, and guess what, guys? They've already topped the group. They already topped the group. 12 points in the bag. This is to be expected, right, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's no doubt that they were going to qualify. They've been given a good group, and the wins are wins. At least they got 3-0 in the first game. And the other game...
Yeah, the second one was a bit tight, though.
Okay.
It was a 2-1 win.
I haven't watched any of the Asian games, I don't think. But Afghanistan have put themselves back into contention.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, for Qatar, man, they had a hard-fought 2-1 win over Kuwait. It was funny, Matt, because Qatar scored I think the 79th minute. I didn't think, okay, it's over. They're gonna win 1-0. I think Kuwait equalized. I was like, oh my god! Right after, the Qatar scored the late, and then scored again after they conceded, and then that's how the game finished 2-1. So yeah, for Qatar, man, good job for them. And as for India, man, what a disappointment! What a failure this is. I'm sorry. To only get 1 point against Afghanistan out of 6 is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And it is embarrassing because a population of this big shouldn't be losing to Afghanistan, with all due disrespect. So, and I just think that for India in particular, man, this is disgraceful. It's really bad. And now they put themselves in a very bad position, Matt, where they have to rely on other teams now if they want to get that second place spot. So
I think Kuwait would be relishing this opportunity, as they've played Qatar twice and they've got the lowest goal difference. They've also scored the most goals as well.
Yeah.
India, it's looking shaky for them, but that Kuwait game will be important.
Yeah, I mean, because my thing is that for India in particular is that because for me, this is how I feel. I don't know if Matt agrees with me. India is actually good defensively. I think defensively they've been solid for the most part. It's just their attack is so trash. I'm sorry, this attack is terrible. This attack is horrendous. And they over 2 games they had to rely on a penalty, which I saw the highlights for, and it was a handball. And those handball ones are a bit touch and go. Sometimes it's a bit controversial. Sometimes the handball isn't fully obvious. And yeah, India just they could only score from there. And Sunil Chetri, of course, scored the guy. And I just don't understand why Stimich, the coach, took Sunil Chetri off at the 60th minute when they were 1-0 up. So It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Like, unless he got injured, it doesn't make sense. I mean, do you agree, man? Matt? Okay. Oh, I think I heard something. Yeah, Matt, are you there? Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. Okay. So, I mean, what were you saying about India, man?
Well, that Q8 game's got to be a must-win.
Oh yeah, that Kuwait game's a must-win now. India have to beat Kuwait now. If India don't beat Kuwait, is it a well? It's not mathematically over, but it's going to be very difficult because then they have to play against Qatar. And by the way, that Qatar game's away.
And away.
Yeah, and even though Qatar would have nothing to play for, I don't know if I can trust India to beat Qatar, especially on the road. Maybe at home I'll give them a chance, but I'm not sure about on the road. Do you agree with me, Matt?
Well, even at home, that would have been hard enough.
No. I'm just saying, but the chances to beat Qatar would be greater at home, right, than away, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to say is that the chances are not it's not as high compared to away, you know. But for India, man, they got to do this, man. They got to do this, and we'll see if Stimac gets sacked. I personally don't think he will. I think he will still stay in the job, even though he probably should get sacked. But the thing is, like, let's be real, man. It's not going to happen. The India Federation, they have very low standards, and I don't know, man. I just don't see them. I just think they're too cautious, man. They're too cautious, in my opinion. But yeah, and yeah, for Afghanistan, man, they put themselves right back in contention, Mats. Right back in contention. Even though they still have to play Qatar, it's still the chances are still not great.
Sure.
So, yeah. So yeah, man, it's interesting, man. Interesting. All right, so should we move on, Mats? Before we should we move on to the next group, Mats?
Yeah, I've got.
Okay.
I haven't really got much to add on these Asian groups.
Yeah. Okay, let me read some of your guys' comments. Your survey say, yeah, they lost at home. FC Barcelona says, hi, AD. Alexander Port Football said, Chetri is 39. 39 years old, man. Ugh. And that's also another crazy thing for India is that they don't have anyone. There is no backup. Like, what's the next plan after Chetri? I don't think there's. I'm really concerned what their plan is post Chetri. FC McCoy says we don't deserve this kid. Yamal, what a gift. I pray to God protect this kid. By the way, guys, I'm only discussing competitive games on the stream. We're not going to discuss friendlies. Maybe we'll discuss friendlies on Twitter Space or on Discord, VC. But for this stream, I'm only discussing competitive games. Okay. So yeah, Pookie says sup, and Abukadan says big up, man. Abukadan says Qatar reached the semifinals at 26. Pookie said lame. Scratching my head, can't believe India. And that's also another thing I want to say about India before we move on is that when the going gets tough for India, this team crumbles. This team crumbles under a lot of pressure. This team cannot handle pressure, guys. And I know, you know why I know this? It's because what they did in the 2019 Asian Cup, when they were literally a few minutes away from reaching the knockout stage, and they conceded a stupid penalty. Do you remember that, Mats?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, that for me was the sign when they couldn't handle the pressure. And, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Group B, man. So Japan and Syria, they both won massive. And for North Korea, man, okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mats. Did North Korea forfeit? Or that game is still yet to be played?
I think it got forfeited. It says cancelled on there. I imagine it was like postponed in advance. But I reckon Japan's going to be awarded a 3-0 win.
Yeah, and Japan's going to top the group. But let's be real. And then Syria, they got a huge win against Myanmar. And one of the players scored a hat-trick. I think it was Kibari. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing his name wrong. And I think he scored a hat-trick. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. But yeah, I mean, for this group, Brand, not really much to say. Myanmar is pretty bad. And even though Syria did draw points to Myanmar and the first fixture, I still think Syria should be fine. I still reckon they should be able to get second. Do you agree, Mats?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, and also actually let's go back to Group A, Mats, real quick. Who do you are you still backing Kuwait to get second?
I think. I mean, the
Because
one
I
away
originally
to
predicted India.
Afghanistan. I think I originally predicted Q8, but I'm gonna guess that Q8 will beat Afghanistan at home. I mean, I guess I'll say draw away at India. So, and I've got India losing to Qatar. So, I suppose I would have Q8 advancing, but could also potentially predict India to beat Q8.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely not Afghanistan. That's for sure, right?
I won't count. I think they've got about the same much amount of chance as these other two.
Okay.
But the fixtures probably favour Q8 the most.
Yeah, the goal difference is really bad, man. The goal difference is really bad. So, and I believe goal difference is a tiebreaker. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, hit the like button, guys. Get those likes up, man. Get those likes up. Let's try to get up to 10 likes, man. 10 likes, man. 10 likes. Okay, let's move on to Group C. Scratching my head. The next sport is esports. Are we going to discuss about preliminary rounds for AFCON? We'll touch upon it briefly, Alexander, but we're not going to go into detail of the games because let's be real. Let's be real. I don't think it's but we'll still touch upon it, but we're not going to go into details. Is that fair?
Sure.
Yeah, Yoster Payne says it got canceled, will not be played or rescheduled. So yeah, Japan's gonna be awarded the game. So I think Japan will be on 12, North Korea on 3, and yeah, so that would pretty much put So the series has a 4-point cushion, man, a 4-point cushion. So yeah. By the way, guys, I forgot about the India Afghanistan game. I know I keep bringing it up, but Afghanistan scored a late equalizer there in the 73rd minute, and then a stupid challenge to the goalkeeper from Gurpreet gives them the win. So a penalty there in the 98th minute. But yeah, okay, let's move on to Group C, Mats. South Korea, man, they should be fine, even though they did drop points at Thailand away, Thailand at home, sorry. So yeah, you think South Korea should be fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they.
I don't know what really has gone on post the Asian Cup, like who their new manager is. I think
they have a caretaker.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they have a caretaker.
I mean, drawing at home to Thailand was a bad sign. Although the away win was pretty good, they should be fine, given that they've got their easiest away game of the 3 next month, and China haven't had a good international break either. So, well, that being said, they did get that. I mean, they were expected to beat Singapore, but the away draw was disappointing. South Korea should be fine, and then Thailand and China, I think, have pretty much the same fixtures, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check. Now, China did draw points, I believe, at Singapore. And sorry, was that at home? No, that was away. It was they were 2-0 up against Singapore.
And actually, China and Thailand don't have the same fixtures because Thailand played South Korea twice, and China still need to play South Korea.
Yeah, so like the thing is, Matt, is that China draw points at Singapore when they were 2-0 up. Because had they had won that game, Matt, I think it would have been done and dusted. It would have been done and dusted. But now China draw points, and Thailand getting that draw away against South Korea might be crucial because Thailand still plays Singapore, right? And they already played South Korea twice. So you might actually favor Thailand, to be honest, get that second place.
Well, the China are at home.
Actually, let me check. When is that Thailand-China game?
That's 6th of June.
Oh, that's at China Stadium. Thailand probably have to win that. Would a draw be enough?
Then it would depend on other results.
Okay, let me check China's fixture. So China, let's see, they're going to play against. Then they have South Korea on the road. So let's assume that they lose to South Korea, and then they draw. So 5-8. Yeah, I think Thailand probably have to win. Actually, I think a draw wouldn't be too bad, but China can't afford to lose that game at home. I think that's crucial.
No.
Yeah. So, But then South Korea probably already topped the group, so South Korea probably had nothing to play for by that time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
imagine, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm going to still stick with China. I think I'll put China in second place with my original prediction, but it could be Thailand. But let's be real, it's definitely not going to be Singapore. Sorry, any Singaporeans watching. So, yeah, do you agree, Matt?
They won't make it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Group D, Matt. Kyrgyzstan, they won. I think it was 4-1 against Chinese Taipei, I think, right? Or was it 5-1? Let me check, actually. Just make sure I get the scores right.
It's on the side.
Oh, okay. 5-1. Yeah, I was right. 5-1. Okay, so they're good to go, man. I think it's fair to say, Matt, we basically Chinese Taipei or they're basically the whipping boys in this group. And I think it's going to basically come. I think the top two is interesting with this group match because we have a very interesting battle. We have Malaysia, Kyrgyzstan, Oman, and I believe I originally predicted. I have to go back and check what I said, but I believe I predicted Kyrgyzstan. I think I predicted Oman first, Kyrgyzstan second. What about you?
I think I said Oman first, Malaysia second.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, I think for this one, Matt, it's going to be interesting because Malaysia. So let me actually check Malaysia's fixtures. So as you can see, Malaysia still have to play against Chinese Taipei at home. That could be massive. They should be able to win that game, right? So 9 points. Then that Oman versus Kyrgyzstan game. This is going to be massive. I feel like this group match could come down to goal difference. I don't know about you. Do you agree?
Potentially. I'm not sure where Oman would lose, to be honest. I mean, they got the away game is to Chinese Taipei, and when they play Kyrgyzstan, it will be at home, and they've been good at home so far.
Yeah, I think Oman should be able to top. The Kyrgyzstan, they play Malaysia at home. And the Kyrgyzstan play Oman away, so yeah, I think from Malaysia, man, I think the group might just I think Kyrgyzstan, I think Malaysia might just miss out, unfortunately. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what else. Georgia, Greece versus Georgia felt like more like a Final Four, a matchup. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna discuss about the Euro playoffs eventually. I just want to discuss about the Asia stuff first. Group E, guys. Group E. This group is already decided. This group is already decided, Matt. It's like, wow. I mean, we don't. What is there to say, Matt, with this group?
Well, I saw some of Next Generation Football's live stream today on Turkmenistan versus Iran. First, Iran, I think the fact they kept 2 clean sheets, they're looking to be a fortress at home at the moment based on the first 2 games. Uzbekistan, respectable as well. It's not much to say. The 2 right teams have qualified.
And basically this group is done, and there's not much to say. And shout out to Uzbekistan, man, because we have. So yeah, I mean, it's basically the battle for top spot. But yeah, I mean, Group E is basically done and dusted. Not much to say. Group F, man, Iraq, man. Shout out to Iraq, man. They're officially qualified to the next round. By the way, guys, remember, guys, top 2 in every group qualifies for the Asian Cup, just so you guys know. So Iraq are done it. And once again, man, Ahmed Hussein, man, the guy is a lethal goal scorer. The guy needs to play for Europe. I want to see him in a European team. Do you think he's going to move to Europe, or you don't think so?
I don't know, to be honest.
Let me tell you his age. He is currently 28 years old.
26.
28.
28. That looks doubtful.
Yeah, that's probably doubtful. I would love to see him though. He's a fantastic striker, man. A very underrated striker. And then yeah, I mean Vietnam, man. I think it's over. They're finished.
The Indonesia Vietnam games are the story of this group. I thought Vietnam would be able to do better, and I believe they had some of their better players back to play Indonesia, and still they lost twice. So the away game's understandable, but to lose 3-0 at home, that's disgraceful from their point of view. And then of course all that, and people are clowning Maxwell, and Maxwell, was it Maxwell or Maxwell?
Maxwell.
Yeah, why is there a Q in his name?
I don't know, Matt. I didn't decide that, just so you know.
But nonetheless, the fact that they've had 2 defeats, at least one of them be embarrassing. And I don't know if more attention on Maxwell reduces any pressure on Vietnam. When they play Philippines, that's going to be a must-win.
Oh yeah, for sure, Mats.
And
they still have to play Iraq then, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I think Iraq. I think Iraq will get a result of some kind against Indonesia, so it could mean that Vietnam are 2 points off. But then again, Indonesia also have the Philippines at home.
Yeah, dude, I think it's
although they did get a draw at home to Indonesia in a previous international break.
Yeah, Matt, let's face it.
It looks bad. It looks very bad for Vietnam.
Yeah, and guys, did you guys know that prior to this year, I think Vietnam had a great streak against Indonesia. And just for you guys know, Vietnam and Indonesia are like rivals. They're like the Southeastern Asian nation rival, I think. And all of a sudden this year, Indonesia beat them 3 times in the same year. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So, yeah, Indonesia, man, they're definitely on the rise. And if they can make the 3rd round, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Would you agree, Matt?
Yeah, and also I just remembered Elkan Baggett, who's who had a good he had a pretty good Asian Cup. He's Ipswich loanee Bristol Rovers. So hopefully, I'll put that out there, and who knows what benefits he'll bring to when club football gets going again.
Yeah. Indonesia, man. I can't believe, man. Vietnam, man. Indonesia, man. Just terrible, man. Terrible for Vietnam. And yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Matt, this group is going to be interesting. So let's read your guys' comments. Uzbekistan, Philippines, man. I don't think, I mean, I think this is like, I mean, I don't really think there was much expectations of Philippines, right, Matt?
Not a huge amount.
Yeah, and at least they got a point in this group. You know, that's commendable. So you have to give them that at least. But yeah, moving on to Group G, Matt.
Still not technically out, and they don't have to play Iraq.
Yeah. So moving on to Group G. Oh, I know about it. Okay. I didn't know that. Sorry. Okay, but yeah, I think I agree with you, Matt. I think Vietnam is pretty much over. Group G. For this group, this is interesting, man, because Tajikistan managed to get a late draw against Saudi at home. So that puts Tajikistan on a very interesting position. And Jordan, they did the double over Pakistan, which is to be expected. And so, yeah, for this group, Matt, let's be real. Saudi should be able to top this group. Do you agree, Matt?
Yes. Although I'm not sure how that Jordan game's going to go down.
Yeah, that Jordan Tajikistan game is gonna be huge. That's probably gonna decide the second place. Do you agree?
Well, I was thinking Saudi Arabia versus Jordan.
Oh, that game also is going to be important too. But I think the Jordan Tajikistan game is going to be more important. I think that's going to be the big game of this group. That's going to determine who's going to get second place, in my opinion.
Potentially.
Yeah. And remember, I think, if I remember correctly, I think Tajikistan got a draw. Was that Tajikistan ground that draw last year?
Yeah. It was in Tajikistan.
Okay, so that actually favors Jordan. And because Jordan, I think if they could get a draw against Tajikistan, that should be okay. And if they win, win's gonna be amazing. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. So that game is on June 6th, man. That's gonna be a big, massive game, man. And I think Pookie put it here rightfully. Jordan Tajikistan gonna be a big game. And let's be real. I think I'm sorry to say is I don't think Pakistan's gonna get a single point in this group. So I think that game's gonna be huge.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. Also, Jordan actually got a victory against Tajikistan in the Asian Cup, so we've seen that before, and the fact that they'll be at home. I think Tajikistan, Jordan having got the 2 needed wins against Pakistan, they'll be the happier of the 2 teams.
Yeah, I think Jordan have to win because remember, Jordan have to play against Saudi, and we know Saudi. Now, is that Saudi game at home for Jordan or is it away?
It's away. The nations on the top row on the right, that indicates that they're away.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, my thing is I agree with you. I think Jordan have to beat Tajikistan because they shouldn't aim to draw the game because that puts them 8 points. And then Tajikistan have to play against Pakistan. And let's be real, you would expect Tajikistan to win, right? So that would be on 8. So it comes down to goal difference. And even though Jordan do have a better goal difference, remember Tajikistan have to play Pakistan. So that could ramp up the goal difference. So for me, I think if Jordan beats Tajikistan, I think they should be able to get this job done.
Yeah. And even then we've post Hervé Renard, we've seen that Saudi Arabia can be shaky at times, so I see a good chance of Saudi Arabia and Jordan getting a draw at Saudi if they needed to.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Group H, we got here United Emirates, man. They're first, man. Amazing, man. I really like their new manager. And by the way, guys, the UE manager, I believe, is a former South Korean manager. I forgot his name. It's Paulo Bento. They're looking good. Although UAE, I still feel like they haven't really been challenged yet. I don't know if you agree with me, Mats. I don't think they have been truly challenged, and I think
I'd agree on that.
Yeah, so I think I'm still not completely sold. And remember, guys, Ali Mahmoud, I think his time with the national team is done. I don't think we're going to see this guy anymore with the national team, at least under this current manager. So, yeah, which is actually kind of shocking.
I mean, they played Yemen, who are a team that they would be expected to beat. They won home and away. Hang on. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think and the fact that you qualify, I think they're doing what they need to do, and I think the 3-0 win is going to help as well. Not much to say, to be honest. Bahrain also won the 2 games that they needed to do, and now Nepal are out the race.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say, Matt, this group is already decided. I just think that UAE for me, like, I don't think we're gonna know how this team is really. We're not gonna see the true test of this team until the 3rd round, because the 3rd round they're gonna get challenged. Do you agree with that, Matt?
For UAE and Bahrain,
yes. Yeah. And let's be real, UAE's, with expanded World Cup, they should be one of those nations that should be aiming to qualify. Yeah, Bahrain. Like I said, yeah, I mean, I just think this
But they
group is
won
too easy.
away at Bahrain, albeit not this international break, is a good start. Which was
That is true. That
which
is
is
true.
their toughest game of all.
And then the final group, guys, we got here is Australia, Palestine, Lebanon, Bangladesh. Let me just start this, Matt. I am so devastated as a Bengali. We were so close to getting a result against Palestine. And I know we were bad. I know our goalkeeper was amazing. They get a red card. You could argue it's been controversial. And then they score a late winner. Their center back scored a late winner. And I'm like, oh my jeez. We almost held on to a point. And I think you could tell this Bangladesh coach, I think the new Bangladesh coach has done a great job. He's a local coach. He coached the under-23s. And I think Bangladesh is slowly starting to improve. I think Bangladesh is starting to not be this. We're starting to take strides, and we're not being this we're not like here just to make up the numbers. Okay, maybe I'm going too far, but I think this team is starting to develop. And I think what's interesting, Matt, is that I think Bangladesh is good at home. I think this shows that we have only conceded 1 goal at home in the 2 games against Palestine and Lebanon. So I know you're still yet to play Australia, and let's be real, Australia is probably going to dunk on us. Let's be real, Matt. So obviously that, but if we can put a good performance against Australia at home, I think that'll be commendable. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, and then you've got the chance to test yourself away at Lebanon as well.
Yeah. And let's be real, Matt. I think it's fair to say that Lebanon is in a really bad position. Really bad position. Do you agree?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Yeah, because they got destroyed 5-0 at home against Australia. And I think I was looking at football. 2 of their center backs made errors.
Oh.
Yeah, it's disaster.
There's no doubt that Australia is going to walk this group.
Oh, yeah, that was obvious, Matt. That was obvious.
And that 5-0 away win is showing that even though this is a poor or group, that Australia can be an attacking team as well.
Yeah, that is true, to be fair. Because Australia, we've seen they're a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. They're a team that hardly scores goals. Like 1.
I think in the Asian Cup they beat Indonesia 4-0.
Yeah, but it's really rare you see Australia score a lot of goals, even when they're playing against teams they should beat. That makes sense.
But I think they're at a stage where they can apply that tactic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean, for Australia, and it's also crazy, guys. In the last international break, I think Palestine conceded a late winner to Australia, and then the next game, what is it called? Australia, and then Palestine scored a late winner against Bangladesh. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of redemption for Palestine. But yeah, for Australia, man, as I say, and what the crazy thing is, I believe they scored more goals away at Lebanon than they did at home, which is actually crazy. I believe
that is correct.
That is actually crazy.
It says it on the side.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. But yeah, I mean let's be real, Matt. So most of Asia, there's not really a whole lot to discuss. A lot of the expected results, but I think I even put in the thumbnail. I think the 2 teams that are in deep trouble are Vietnam and India. We know the expectations they have for both national teams, and I think both these teams are in big, big trouble. Do you agree, Matt?
Yes, Lebanon too.
Yeah, Lebanon is also in big trouble, but I don't think their expectation is as high as those 2 countries. But yeah, I mean, you could probably also. I
would say Lebanon are about their expectation would be about as equal as India.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on, man. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next confederation. So we're gonna go ahead and look at CAF real quick, guys. AFCON qualifiers. So we have our 4 nations in the next round of the AFCON qualifiers. Remember, guys, I did a predictions video for this. So let's see how many predictions I get correct.
I actually didn't keep up to date with these because I forgot somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So, Tari says, "Hello, 80 Super 4. Thank you for joining, man, Tari. TJ. And yeah, okay. So yeah, we don't actually have any local qualifiers for Africa, which is I was a bit surprised with. All right, let's start with the first one. We got Somalia versus Eswatini. I knew Eswatini would do this. I knew it was over, and especially after they won the first leg during 3-0 away, I knew it was over.
I had Somalia winning, but I'm not surprised about Eswatini getting the victory.
Yeah, at least Somalia did go the second leg. At least they made it respectable. The second leg, they came back from behind. But let's be real, the aggregate was pretty much done. So I don't know how much praise you could give them, right, Mats? So yeah. Then next up it is Saiton, Principe, and South Sudan. Now this one, I believe I actually predicted South Sudan. So they actually did it on away goals. So I love the away goals,
I was
guys.
actually the most.
I'm sorry.
I was actually the most confident in South Sudan winning, and the fact they've done it without actually winning a 90 minutes is a bit bizarre. I mean, we saw that Sao and Principe were terrible in the last Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, and the fact that they did get 2 draws, I don't know if that speaks volumes of them being good or South Sudan being bad. Because we saw South Sudan do okay in the last Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers.
Yeah. South Sudan, man. South Sudan. Yeah, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. And yeah, it was actually crazy, Mats, because had they not scored that goal, oh man, they could have been in trouble. Some Principe could have just won 1-0 aggregate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. It's Chad versus Mauritius. Now, this is probably my only prediction where I actually messed up with. And Chad, man, they actually got it done. They won the first leg at home, which was crucial. And in the second leg, they actually managed to beat Mauritius on the road, which was impressive. And they actually had to come from behind as well, the second leg. So that was actually, they were losing the game, let's put it this way. And yeah, they managed to score 2 goals. But yeah, I mean, for Chad, man, as I said, man, congratulations to them. And they proved me wrong, Mats. Did they prove you wrong?
Well, I was aware that they'd been suspended. They'd been. I think it was the World Cup qualifiers, possibly, or the AFCON qualifiers, where they'd been banned from qualifying. So what it meant was, I don't know what to expect from this team. How good are they up against Mauritius? And I did lean more towards Mauritius, given than the fact that they had some recent form to go off, even if it was mostly not good. But I'm not too surprised with Chad, given that we didn't know what to expect so much with them.
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised. Obviously, I don't know. I don't really know these African teams very well, so I can't really act like I know everything. But let me just say that I'm a bit surprised. Let me put it this way. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I don't really know these teams too well, so I can't really act like I know everything correct, But let's put it this way. I think it's surprising, but it's not like too surprising. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and the last one is Djibouti versus Liberia, and yeah, this was over.
The only surprising thing was the fact that Djibouti managed to keep a clean sheet away.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, maybe Liberia maybe they use their B team, like thinking that the time is already done. So we're, I mean, kudos to them though. They at least got a good result on the road, but yeah, that home game basically cost them. But yeah. Let's be real, Matt. Let me just ask you this before we move on. Do you think any of these 4 nations are going to qualify for the AFCON? Because I don't think so.
I don't think so. When's the draw for the next round?
Yeah, let's actually quickly look at that real quick before we move on to CONCACAF, and then we'll go to UEFA. Let's go ahead and look at here. So when is the draw? So I said the match day is going to be September. So I don't see it here on the page. Bro, it doesn't even say.
I think you would find it on the
Official
on
website,
the
right?
20. No, what I was going to say, the page you were on before.
Okay. It doesn't say here.
What about to group stage?
Nah, it's not going to say here. Yeah, Mats, I don't think there's a date that's been officialized yet. We'll probably, if I had to make a guess, Mats, it'll probably be sometime in June, maybe, or yeah, it'll probably be sometime in June or July, I think, potentially August. But yeah, I don't think a date's been finalized yet at this current moment. Let's read some of guys' comments. Yeah, I like how the CAF qualifier has been increased. Brandon Buck says, Chad living up to Giga Chad name. Oh, man. You know, guys, I got to do a video, guys, like flags are similar because I keep getting the Ivory Coast and Ireland flag mixed up. I keep getting those flags mixed up. And I think Chad's flag is very similar to Romania's flag, right, Mats?
Yep. I think also Indonesia's red is slightly darker than Monaco's.
Yeah. That might be interesting to do for the second channel. I'll put it this way. But yeah, I only got Mercer's wrong. Same here, man. That's the only one. Yeah, that's the only one. So I got 3 out of 4. How many you got correct, Mats?
2.
Okay, 2. Okay, so 50%, man. 75%. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to CONCACAF. We don't honestly, Mats, there's not a whole lot to say about CONCACAF because let's be real. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. I already did the United States matches, so I'm not gonna really discuss those matches. We're gonna discuss the other matches. Right?
I did watch the USA games, albeit I was sort of I think it was the last 20 minutes. So I was mostly just asleep listening. But I did see was watching USA.
Yeah.
I know you've spoken at length of the 2 games, but shall I just give my thoughts here?
Yeah, just keep it brief, man.
Obviously, not as much as your streams, but that Jamaica game, I could see what they were trying to do, but for a long time it wasn't working. I mean, sometimes playing long balls just to kind of mix it up a bit. It did give the Jamaican defense something to be tested for, and they defended well throughout that 90 minutes. Giovanni Reina was a good impact sub.
Yeah,
it was like sometimes you're convinced USA could score, sometimes that it was underwhelming with their chances, and of course it was a great ball for the corner, and I'll at least give USA credit for trying to make sure that they did everything they could to not lose. For that final, I didn't watch the Panama-Mexico game, but I got a sense that Mexico were going to be back and competitive, but they just were not that. And USA bossed the midfield, and 2 of the goals that they scored, Ray Adams and Reina, were excellent. So now it just leaves more or question marks back on Mexico, and I think USA at least did what they needed to do before for this international break, and they've got Colombia next, so that'll be a good test before I don't know if they've got another friendly, but it's a good stepping stone before they play in the Copa America.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Let's read some of your guys' comments. But yeah, I mean, my thing is that for United States, like I said, I'm gonna just briefly give you my thoughts. We were lucky to beat Jamaica.
I'll shout out Michael Hector as well in the Jamaican defense. I thought he had an excellent 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, he was good. And you could just tell what Jamaica is. Like I said, this was even their best team, man. This was a team missing their starters. Like Bailey's not there, Bianoka's not there, Antonio's not there. I think Damari Gray's not there as well. And there's like 4 starters. And the fact that we're going head to head with United States at United States is pretty disappointing. You know, but we eventually got the job done. Jamaica bunkered, and we eventually came through. And I think one of the I think we got exposed, and I think one of the tactical weaknesses is that we're not good against playing low block teams. And if we're like, I would especially imagine those Copa America team, those South American teams, they're gonna be a lot better defensively than Jamaica. Would you agree, Matt?
Yes. Although USA can take a bit of inspiration from the final because their goals came from like long range efforts. So if Panama and Bolivia are to sit it in low blocks, they can at least, if they're struggling to break them down, they can at least have a go at shooting from outside the box in the way that Tyler Adams did and Giovanni Reina did too.
Yeah. But like I said, for the United States, man, like we should feel proud. Like I said, Americans should feel proud, but we shouldn't get too gassed up and too excited that, oh, let's go, man. We're not going to own Copa America too. Like, no, guys, CONMEBOL is way better than CONCACAF. Even CONMEBOL right now, even if it's weak right now, it's still a lot better than CONCACAF. And let's just be real, guys. CONCACAF Federation is just weak. It's weak. I'm sorry to say this. It is a weak confederation. Like it's not that great. Shout out to Mexico, man. They got their win over Panama. I thought it was kind of somewhat fortuitous. Well, I don't want to say lucky for Mexico, but maybe actually, let me put it this way. I think the scoreline is a bit flattering to Mexico because I thought Panama actually put up a decent fight. It's just that I think the big difference is that Mexico's quality in the final third is just better than Panama's, and Panama just don't have the individuals like they do in that attack compared to Mexico. So I still think Panama is one of the best nations in CONCACAF, and I still firmly believe that Panama is still the third best nation in CONCACAF. And I know people are going to say, oh, how could they be the third best when they lose a third place playoff? Guys, it's a third place playoff. Teams don't usually give it their all for third places. So I don't really think that, oh, just because you win in third place means you're the third best, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. And some will argue that Canada are the third best, and they were one goal away from making this semifinals.
Yeah. But shout out to Jamaica, man. They got the job done, and they scored a nice goal there. That was a great goal from Lambisca, the 42nd minute. And yeah, man, it was a pretty good win. And let's be real, guys, because usually Jamaica underperforms. I think this is probably one of the rare occasions where I think they actually overperformed, if that makes any sense. Like, this is probably something I rarely say. Do you agree, Matt?
Well, I suppose so. Not having not watched the Panama games and just seeing their results at face value, are they going in the wrong direction at all? Are they taking a step too many back?
Yeah, because my thing is that they actually did well. Because remember, this was a depleted team, as I just said, and the fact they got third place with a depleted team, and they went head to head against the United States. I think you got to give them kudos. I think you have to give them praise. I think you have to, but like as you said, Matt, we don't know if this was just something like just two, because remember, it was only 2 games, and we don't have a large sample size, and we're gonna see the real Jamaica and the Copa America. Because I'm telling you this right now, man, Jamaica got to be competitive in that group. Jamaica have to be competitive. They can't go out. They can't bow out the group with 0 points. Do you agree, Matt?
Even though I think they're the weakest team, yes.
Well, actually, let me rephrase.
I reckon they've got like 1 point in them.
No, let me rephrase. 0 points isn't the issue. It's just how the performance is like. Like, if they put up like good fights and they lose like close games, okay, then 0 points, okay. But they can't get battered. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can't get destroyed.
They can't have a goal difference of -8.
Oh, yeah. So, and yeah, Panama, man. Shout out to Panama, man. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at the CONCACAF Nations League. The playoffs. We also had 2 playoff games. Let me actually. Where's the page for that? Don't know where that is at. Let me actually. Maybe it's here. Actually, let me check. I'm not sure where it is. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna read your guys' comments. Don't worry. It's not like I'm ignoring you guys. Just I'm gonna finish this and then we'll get to your comments. No, it's not here. Where the okay? Oh, it's right here. It's right, no, that's not. Bro, where the heck is it? No, it's not it. This is not it. Where the heck is it?
Well, I think the key word to look at is what one place to look for is quarterfinals, and then you can at least find the
Oh, okay then.
stage where
There's a
there
sub-page.
we go.
Okay. So Canada got the win against Trinidad and Tobago. It was to be expected. I'm a bit surprised that Canada didn't score more goals, though. I'm a bit surprised
Me
with that,
too.
but yeah, I mean, you could
4-0.
Yeah, I mean Trinidad, you could see when they line up their 11, they put up a very defensive 11. They were playing the 5 in the back because obviously they know they got to be defensive. So yeah, Canada scored 2 goals. Kyle Lowry, Schaffelberg, and yeah, Canada, man, they got the win, and let's be what's expected. Now this game, Matt, Costa Rica versus Honduras. Wow, what a game this was! Because even though Costa Rica won 3-1, Honduras actually played really well. I thought Honduras played really well the first half. They scored an amazing goal. Then Costa Rica scored an amazing goal as well. This was kind of the game of bangers, basically. All the goals that were scored were like amazing goals, basically. I think for me, Honduras should have been given a penalty there at the end of the first half, and then Costa Rica just destroyed Honduras in the second half. Honduras were terrible in the second half. And Costa Rica scored 2 amazing goals, and that's how the game finished. So I feel bad for Honduras because I actually think that I feel like Honduras, if they had got that penalty, we could have had a very interesting game. But, it just feels like I just don't know what happened to Honduras after halftime. Like, they were just terrible after halftime. I'm very surprised, after having such a good first half.
I haven't watched them really, but they seem like a team that hasn't got a 90 minutes in them, similar to, you could say, USA in the World Cup, where they had some good games, but they weren't consistent in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, sorry.
Also, scroll down a bit just so I can fully clarify. Yeah, I was disappointed that Brandon Aguilera didn't make an appearance.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy, guys? This was a Honduras team that didn't even have their best players. A lot of players were suspended, injured, and the fact they went head-to-head against Costa Rica is actually impressive. And remember, this is Costa Rica with Navas, by the way. This isn't like Costa Rica without Navas. They actually put up a great fight, But yeah, I just think for Honduras, man, the issue with Honduras is just that they have to get those. I think those players have to be so crucial. And you know how good Albert Elise is. He's their best player without doubt. He is so important to this team. He's that main goal scorer for them. And yeah, I think Honduras is starting to go in the right path, but they just got to get results now. Now is the thing. Because you can play all you want well, and I think you're right, Matt's saying this. They have to play well for 90 minutes. Playing well for 45 minutes isn't going to be enough to get results. Right, Matt?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, let's look at the World Cup qualifiers real quick for 2026 real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. And then we're going to talk about UEFA playoffs, man. We'll probably breeze through the semis since, the semifinals isn't really... I mean, it means something, but it's not really that significant when you go to the finals. But we'll touch on that.
I think it's bigger than a lot of the other games we've talked about. And even... the British Virgin Islands got the win on penalties.
Ooh. So this game actually hasn't played, guys. Angola versus Turks and Caicos Islands. What time is the game? I thought the game's already played.
I think it's already started.
Yeah, let me actually check what's going on, guys. Let me actually check. Let me check right here. Oh my god. Bruh. Okay, this is so weird. So I looked at football. It said it started at 7 o'clock. It's 7:34. Typical CONCACAF, man. They say the game started this time, and then they actually started like 30 minutes later or something. That's probably gonna start at 8. Anyways, we're gonna just look at this. I guess I should have done this tomorrow, to be honest. But yeah, I thought all the CONCACAF games would be done, but I guess not. But yeah, let's be real, Matt. Who do you expect to win? I expect Turks and Caicos Islands, right?
Yes, I had that too.
Yeah, British Virgin Islands, man, prevail. So shout out to British Islands. I got that prediction right. So yeah, Turks and Caicos Islands.
I was glad to see the two of them meeting up again.
Yeah, the Virgin Derby, the Virgin Islands.
And hopefully it's Virgin as in Virgin Media.
Yeah. Let's be real. United States owns CONCACAF. Albert Cardinals. I think we already know this. Brandon Bug said, which is more confederation? Obviously, CONCACAF. Come on, man. It's OFC, man. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. It's not even a debate. Do you agree, Mets?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there's a reason why CONCACAF gets more viewership.
Yeah. Obviously, are mostly beatings from one team to another. I'm very surprised by India. How's it possible to beat Kuwait and Kuwait to all of a sudden lose to a B-side Afghanistan? Yeah, I don't know, man. But you know what the thing is? I think India might be. But you know what the thing is? I didn't even talk about this, and I should have talked about this earlier. India might be better against teams that don't play defensive football because let's be real, Afghanistan are pretty defensive. They play very defensive. So maybe India might be better against those kind of teams, maybe. But I mean, I don't know how to explain it because you're right, Brandon. Like, they shouldn't be doing this, but maybe I don't know, honestly. But maybe who knows, man. Actually, now USA gets overconfident against beatable sides, but then play above and beyond against teams that are better than the United States. That's the thing, Brandon Blanco said. United States beat the teams that we should, and then when we lose against teams that actually can't beat us, we tend to lose. That's why I say, guys, for the United States, we're just we're minimum FC, man. We just do the bare minimum FC. That's what the United States is. You know, and that's a sad reality is that if we want the United States to be a serious thing in football, we have to go punch above our weight. Do you agree, Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Albert says Peru looking good. We played baseball versus Albert. It's Nicaragua. Peru should be winning. I would be concerned Peru don't beat Nicaragua. So you can't. I don't think that's a really good test. I don't think that's a really good test. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah.
Captain Falcon Main 65 says, even Jamaica can't even make the final of the World Cup qualifier. Shows how weak the region is. No, I mean the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers hasn't started yet, so we can't really say that just yet. You guys played against the baseball and boxing merchants towards the DR in Nicaragua. Do you think could be a wild card condemnable? At least Peru's formation starting 11 looks better. This game was fire. If only Honduras didn't have that injuries they had, would have had a better chance. Because Honduras can actually make a World Cup. They keep playing the way they are. England, Albuquerque says, if England nearly kept Brazil to a draw, I think you're thinking the same thing.
You know what? I would if Brazil had that Denise manager, right? I'd be more hopeful for the USA.
Yeah, I mean he's not there anymore, so
nah.
Google says 5 p.m. But they kept me low. Yeah, it's probably gonna start in 20 minutes, guys. So you know what? I'll do YouTube short, guys. I'll do YouTube short since I should have probably waited for that game to finish because that's kind of how it should be. But you know, let's be real. What's it called?
I feel like I've got a Virgin joke in me for this Virgin Island RBs, but I don't know how I would phrase it, so I'll let Albert or anybody else in the chat do it for me.
Yeah, maybe it's better to say off stream. Who said I predicted British Rhode Island to win too? I used to say best right now, but they don't own CONCACAF low. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. We don't own CONCACAF. Because how many years do you have to be done? Like how many years? Actually, I'm gonna ask you this question, Matt. How many years should you be dominant in a confederation to say that you own it? If that makes any sense. Because USA has been dominant, I would say, for like 4 years now. I'd say from 2020 onwards. Is that fair?
I think that's more than enough time to say that you own CONCACAF.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, results will dictate it at the end of the day.
Yeah, they aren't virgins in the football sense. We did not expect Jordan to qualify for the Euros. Yeah, we'll get to the Euros, man. We'll get to the Euros. Okay, now I think it's a good segue to the Euros, man.
Would you, AD? Would you count as a? Would you be eligible to play for the US Virgin Islands?
Unfortunately, no. Okay, so Euro 2024 qualifying playoffs, man. So we're gonna touch upon Path A. We're gonna touch upon the semifinals real quickly, but we're not gonna go into detailed analysis, just so you guys know. We're gonna wrap this up in around 10 to 15 minutes. So, for this one, Matt. So Wales versus Finland, man. Which I expected Wales to win. Did you expect Wales to win?
I did, but I didn't expect it to be as dominant as it was. Wales were probably the better team in the first half, even though Finland had some not convincing, but they had some. They tried a bit, but it didn't feel that Finland had properly woken up until it had gone to 2-0, where the game was slipping to them. Pukki with a good goal as well. Harundaki, I think, definitely could have done better for that first goal, seeing as he palmed his save in towards the feet of, I think it was Harry Wilson or David Brooks or something like that. But the other thing was, I don't know why Ant-Man didn't start, because I'm pretty sure he's meant to be one of the best players, and it took until the 60th, 70th minute for him to come on. And of course, Wales were just had more control in the second half. You'll ask me about Poland versus Estonia soon. Nothing surprising really happened apart from Estonia immediately scoring after a Poland goal.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself. I guess the surprising thing is Lewandowski didn't score. I guess that's one surprising thing we'd say.
I suppose so.
Yeah, he did get the assist though. Talk about Wales versus Poland, man. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Wales lost on penalties after being so because actually I want to ask you this question, Matt. Do you think Wales were the better team against Poland? Because I watched a lot of the second half. I didn't get to watch the first half.
I saw more of extra time because I was more focused on the England versus Belgium game. But from what I did see in that 19 minutes, Wales, I thought, did have more chances. I thought overall in the 120 minutes it was fairly even and it deserved to be penalties. Well, I think Poland came the closest to scoring in the first half of extra time when I'm not sure who
they
it
had
was.
that. Oh yeah, I think I remember now.
It was a curling effort that went to just wide of Danny Ward's far post.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But yeah, and then obviously Poland they were so. But you know the thing is, guys, Poland didn't have a single shot on target. They didn't have a single shot on target. That is disgusting.
Also, this was Wales. I picked up from commentary that this was Wales's first ever penalty shootout.
And their history?
Yes.
Wow.
And when it came to penalties, it was just about what can the individuals do. And Danny Ward has had experience in playoff final penalty shootouts, albeit the quality of opposition was different, but I think everything else is the same principle, the same sort of scenario. So he had there was at least some experience from him to participate, but it didn't work out. I think Poland's penalties generally were very good. Wales as well. I wasn't so sure about Daniel James when he stepped up as the fifth penalty taker. I thought maybe he could have stepped up a bit earlier, but that's all hindsight. But then again, I think he's fairly experienced.
Yeah. Do you remember, Matt? There was I think there was one Welsh player that almost missed his penalty, and I think it hit the bar.
Oh yeah, that was
and then it went inside. Kiefer Moore, yes. I was
it hit the outside of the bar, then it bounced on the line, then hit the bar, and then bounced.
I was like, wow, that was like so lucky. Like of all penalties I've seen in a penalty shootout, that might be like one of the most luckiest ones I've seen. Do you agree, Matt? One of the most.
Possibly. I have seen a couple of penalties where they've hit the post, which were going off target, but then have bounced in upon the keeper diving the right way, but getting in the way of the ball.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I will give Poland. I should have probably said this in my YouTube short. Is that they were good in extra time, but I still think for a majority of the game, I think Wales were better. I think majority of the game Wales were slightly better.
Yeah,
but it was a close game.
If I was to pick one, I'd probably say Wales, but I felt based on what I saw overall that Poland, that this did deserve to go to penalties. I don't remember Szczesny making a particularly good save. I know Kiefer Moore did have some narrow headers over the bar. It was what it was. It was a good contest between the two.
Yeah, I knew if it came down to penalties, I knew Poland would come out triumph because I knew Szczesny's a very good penalty shot stopper. This guy is really good at saving penalties, and I don't know if Hennessy is actually who was it? Danny Ward or Hennessy in goal? I think it was Danny
Ward.
Yeah, I didn't know Danny. I don't know if Danny Ward's that amazing. So
yeah. I've just said that he's had experience at in a playoff final penalty shootout.
Okay.
It didn't come to prevail, though, this time.
Yeah, but yeah, I still think Szczesny's a better penalty shot stopper. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, although he might be a bit overhyped. But the better of the two goalkeepers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read you guys' comments. Bulgarian Map says, yes, Poland. Big up to Poland. I did say they'll win if it goes to penalties, and Szczesny is best goalkeeper after 9 Messi World Cup. Yeah, I predicted Wales. Me and Matt predicted Wales. I was hoping Wales would come to fruition. I was rooting for Wales because I just don't really like how Poland play. If I'm being honest with you, I just don't like how Poland play as a team. They play very bad. They don't play good football at all. But hey,
what about the good football against Estonia?
Okay, I mean, you know what I mean, Matt. You know what I mean.
To be fair, I think that was the guy's 6th game, so I haven't seen a lot of how he played, but you could keep reading the comments.
Yeah. So yeah, Poland for me, Wales for me just play better football. But hey, I guess I should be at least somewhat happy for Poland because my man Robert Lewandowski is going to be the Euros, and this will probably be his last Euros. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah. In fact, there was a Polish guy I know who after I congratulated him, eventually along the line in the conversation, he'd said that this was going to be Lewandowski and Szczesny's last tournament.
Yeah. Sent to Ursula. Yeah, last one miss bridge is what it means in Spanish. Okay. Poi says, yo. Puka said Poland were better extra time. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can make argument. Like, I think Matt, we were just talking about Poland had the better chances to win the game in extra time. I forgot to mention this. We forgot to mention this when Wales got sent down at 10 men, man. It was a second yellow. And for me, I don't really remember the first yellow, but the second, that was definitely a yellow card, right? The second one?
I didn't. I remember the second foul that seemed like a deserved yellow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't really affect the game much because it was right at the end, and they didn't go as far as 9 or 10 penalties.
Yeah. Well, I got a question, Matt. So does that suspension carry over to the next Euro qualifiers, or how is that going to exactly work?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Possibly.
All right. Poi says, makes sense. I guess not like they go to many tournaments. Yeah, that's true. Wales, they haven't really been qualifying for a lot of tournaments. And because I believe the Euros, was the Euros 2016 the first Euros in a long time? I think it was, right?
I think it was. I think it might have been their first Euros, and it was the first major tournament in a long time.
Yeah, so I guess it had to come to an end at some point. And yeah, for Wales now, they're going to be trying to see if they could qualify for the World Cup. I knew Jan James was going to miss. Yeah, I had a feeling he might miss too. Well, it isn't what it means in Spanish, but that was the original name of the islands. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Path B, man. Path B, man. Bosnia versus Ukraine. Man, Bosnia, man. They were so close, man. I was thinking, oh my god, are we gonna see Bosnia actually make it through against the odds? And the Ukraine, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. I think Ukraine scored 2 late goals in the last 10 minutes,
Well,
right?
yeah, you're right, and we can see that if you scroll down a bit.
Okay, just make sure. Yeah.
I didn't see the game, but having kept up a bit with the game on the UEFA app, I was wondering why hasn't Yaremchuk come off the bench, and if he does, is it going to be too late? He did well against Real Madrid. I think he's having a pretty good season with Valencia, and
he
came on fairly late and scored in the 85th minute, and I think that galvanized the team as well, having been under some pressure.
And then for Bosnia,
to be honest, Bosnia's goal came through an own goal, so
yeah,
I think that does kind of give some form of indication of what they had going forward.
Yeah. I just think that for me, once Ukraine scored the equalizer, I think the Bosnia heads just dropped. They just dropped. Like, they just weren't there mentally. Ukraine took advantage of their dropped heads by Djurberg scoring the 88th minute goal. And yeah, for Ukraine, Bosnia, man, this is just a miss so big. And it just feels like typical Bosnia, man. They just disappoint. Right, Mats?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually sad because they've only qualified for one major tournament in their history, which is the World Cup 2014. And this is just sad, like, because like the team they have is good, man. Like it shouldn't be this bad. Like, you look at the team they got. Pjanic. Actually, is Pjanic still part of the national team?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, you still have Dzeko that's still there.
Yeah,
Dzeko that started, and yeah, you still have some quality players, man. And the fact that they lost, the fact they did so bad in the qualifiers, and I believe they finished behind Iceland in the qualifiers, which is really, really shocking, I think, right?
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah, it's just really disappointing, man. And yeah, for Bosnia, man, for all this potential, yeah, it's just a shame. And this was like they had a very doable group, man. That group was not even that difficult, and they still did so bad.
Yeah, I had them finishing second until we saw how bad they were, and they even got off to a good start by winning at home 3-0.
Yeah. At the top of the other game, man, Israel won, Iceland 4, man. Wow, what a win for Iceland, man. And this is such a weird game because people are saying that, oh, Iceland smashed Israel. This wasn't even a contest. But if you actually watch the game, this was a close game, right, Mats?
I didn't watch the game, but I was aware at 2-2, Iceland conceded a second penalty, and it ended up staying at 2-1. And I was aware of Goodmanson, and he stood out as, like, even before the games that they played, he stood out as like one of the best players, and so I don't think somebody that could maybe do something. Ex-Burnley player who was a part of the Iceland teams in 2016 to 18, and to be fair to him, he got a hat trick and then a goal in the playoff final.
Yeah. So I just think that for me, Matt's that penalty miss from Zahavi, the second one, I think that just meant, I think Israel heads just dropped so much because 2-2, it's a completely different game. And Iceland, they score a third goal, Gudmundsson, and they score a fourth goal, man. So I just think that I just think, like, it's kind of like in both games, momentum is key. Momentum is so important. Momentum really shifts the team. Like, once the momentum is the other team, it's really hard to get the momentum back. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, possibly a lapse in concentration during the third goal that Iceland scored.
Yeah. And let's quickly talk about the final real quick. So we got Ukraine that won 2-1. Once again, man, Iceland took the lead, and I was like, and then Ukraine had to go disallowed before halftime. And I was like, oh my God, are we going to see Iceland? And sorry to many of my Icelandic fans. I did not want to see Iceland in the Euros. I didn't. Nothing against them. It's just that I don't think I just think Ukraine would have been more interesting if they had qualified. They've
Oh
been
yeah,
more
Ukraine are
competitive.
easily the best team here. Although we saw Iceland in this playoffs. I think they were showing up. So
Oh
at least
yeah, Iceland. I think
they could maybe be on the level.
they have improved. They have improved post qualifiers. I'll give you that.
I don't think anything surprising from this game happened, given that Iceland went in front through Gudmundsson, who'd been excellent in the semi-final, and Ukraine had conceded the opening goal. And then, like in the semi-final away to Bosnia, they end up turning the game round. So, and we'd expected Ukraine to win in Poland. So, I don't think there were any surprises from this game overall. And even Mikhailo Mudryk had got a goal.
Yeah, Modric, man. Shankovic scored the goal, and then Sudakov got the 2 assists. And you know what's really interesting with this Ukraine team is that this Ukraine team is amazing, guys. I think this Ukraine team could be a dark horse in Euros. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like because I look at the group they're in, it's a pretty weak group.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
I think they've got the ability to go second, get 7 points, possibly get first on goal difference, or maybe if they're second's most likely, but I wouldn't put first out of the equation.
Oh yeah. And my thing is that it's gonna be interesting, man. So we'll discuss that when the time comes. But Ukraine, man, look up for them. And then finally, the last one. So I got this one correct, man. I think we both predicted Ukraine here. And the Pat C, man. Georgia versus Luxembourg, man. Give me your quick thoughts on this game, Matt. Because let's wrap this in like five minutes if we can.
I thought it was a decent performance from Georgia. I think they were a bit shaky when Luxembourg had 11 men, but when it went to 10 men, I think things were. It got easier for Georgia.
Yeah.
It was an okay performance overall. I didn't watch the Greece game, but the 5-0 win against Kazakhstan did show volumes. And then the final, that was a game I did watch. There weren't a lot of chances. It did definitely feel like a matter of war and grit to try and win. Georgia, I think, came the closest to scoring, but then it's come down to the penalties, and Georgia ended up scoring more.
Yeah. And shout out to their goalkeeper, man. Marvis Veal became a clutch, man. He saved 2 penalties, right, Mats?
The first, well,
the
first penalty was saved, and then the other missed penalty, I believe, the other missed penalty missed the target, and Georgia had also dragged a penalty wide.
Yeah. I like this. I think this Georgia team is a good, man, because people are just thinking that this is just Kvaratskhelia FC when it isn't really just. I mean, obviously he plays a huge part, but it's not just him, And remember, Georgia is really good in the under 17, under 20s.
Michael was saying that he thinks Georgia are a better goalkeeper than Greece.
Yeah, and I think it showed on the day, because he's been doing so well.
Even before the penalty shootout, he was saying that.
No, I feel like my thing is that I feel like of the 2 goalkeepers, I think Vlachodimos is a better goalkeeper overall. But I think this season, if you're going by this season, I think Marvis Veal has been better. Is that fair to say?
I can't tell the 2 of them apart, but based on the name, I can only tell them apart based on the color of the jerseys. But what this means for Georgia is that they play a bordering nation in Turkey as their first game at the Euros.
Yeah, and I think Georgia, for me, man, they were the better team. I think I think they deserve to win this, honestly. Offense. I think it was the right winner.
Greece probably could have done better.
Yeah, Greece were disappointing. And yeah, we both predicted Greece. So we only got 1 out of 3 teams correct, man. Wow, that's crazy. So it shows how unpredictable this is. And yeah, Georgia, man. And by the way, guys, Wales the only home team that didn't win their game. So, and yeah, and you know what's actually, now thinking about it, the only team that really lost was Iceland. Every other team either won or tied, if you think about
Yes.
it. Which is kind of weird. But yeah, anyways, I think we're going to round things off, man. So shout out to Georgia, man. They're our only debutant at this year's Euros, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'll quickly also say that I feel fairly happy with England, knowing that they could have beaten Belgium and they didn't have Harry Kane or any of their first choice back four, and possibly the 2 goals were avoidable. Also, could have won that game and feel fairly okay for the next international break and Euros.
Yeah. So shout out to Georgia, man. We have our 3 debutant. Well, we have our debutant in the Euros, man. So shout out to them, man. They definitely did defy the odds. So I hope you guys did enjoy this roundup international break, guys. So I'll take the next few days off. May expect some videos. Maybe there will be a big. I think I'm going to do a collaboration on the channel. I won't reveal who I'm going to collab with, but expect a video like that to coming out on this week. And it's going to be with 2 people, guys. 2 people. And it's going to be international football related, of course. And yeah, we're going to get back to club football in a few days' time, of course.
I
any last
believe
things for you?
So
Sorry.
I believe you'll be collaborating with PewDiePie and Markiplier.
You're gonna have to wait and find out. You're gonna have to wait and find out. But yeah, like I said, guys, hope you guys did enjoy. Please remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's see how many likes we're on before we head out, man. Any last things from you, Matt, before we round off?
I think most of them were around England, and also I saw a vlog of San Marino versus St. Kitts and Nevis, and going forward to League D of the Nations League, the worrying thing for San Marino is even against the worst teams, they're not good at defending set pieces.
Oh, and actually, you just reminded me, Matt. I completely forgot about talk about this. I'm gonna just touch upon this briefly. Lithuania defeated Gibraltar 2-0 aggregate, so
yes.
Lithuania's gonna be League C, and Gibraltar's gonna go League D. I just completely forgot about that. So sorry to my Lithuanians and Gibraltarians. I completely forgot. So, but yeah, anyways, I think we're gonna round up here, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Please remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, guys, peace, guys, peace out. Peace, Puka. Puka already left like 7 minutes ago. So yeah, we're gonna round off things here, man. So yeah, we did get 10 likes, man. So thank you guys for enjoying the stream, and I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.